Welcome to Unfold Data Science, friends. My name is Aman and I am a data scientist. So every time I am doing a live on YouTube and through some of the comments as well, many of you have been requesting for the topics like what is DevOps, what is CI/CD pipeline, and I am very happy to know that you guys are interested in this topic. So in this video, I'll tell you why you need this knowledge first of all. So end-to-end skill sets are in high demand. Now if you go for an interview, right, people will ask you what is model tuning, how do you create a model, how do you clean the data, these kind of things they'll ask you. At the same time, they will also ask you deployment based questions, right? So you should be very comfortable with model training, model deployment, and an end-to-end skill set you should show. That is what you will gain when you understand the concept of DevOps, Dockers, Kubernetes, those kind of things, right? And your confidence as a data scientist will increase by many folds. That is the purpose of this video. Now what you will learn in this video? You will learn what and why of DevOps. You will learn what is DevOps in data science. You will learn what is continuous integration and continuous deployment, and how do we correlate data science with DevOps. And in the end, we will see what are some of the important tools for DevOps that you should know. Okay. So first of all, what and why of DevOps, right? So as you can see, there are two different pictures. One talks about the traditional approach of a software development, or you can say a model building or data science project. And in the bottom, you see a cyclic kind of diagram, that is a DevOps approach for a model training or deployment or complete machine learning project, you can say. So what is DevOps? DevOps is a set of practices to integrate development and IT operations. Now I want to make you understand with this one liner only what it means. Now let's say you as a data scientist build a machine learning model. So you are in the development team, you build a machine learning model, and then there is a separate team for operations, IT operations, which kind of manages the servers, the databases, which kind of is responsible, there should not be any issues when model is running in production. So how typically things work is, development team, or you can think of yourself as a data scientist, will work on the model, will train the model and pass on the trained object as a whole to the operations team. And then operations team will take care of the deployment and then the release will happen. But how DevOps is different is, DevOps kind of integrates development and operation activities. Okay. So in first approach, the traditional approach, there is a boundary between these two teams. So dev team is working separately, ops team is working separately, and there is a division, there is a boundary. That boundary is eliminated when we take a DevOps approach. So DevOps is basically a set of practices using certain tools where development team and operation team will work together on various requirements, various features. Now if you have watched my agile video, the link for which you can see right here, you will know that the waterfall model was not that so efficient, and hence people are moving on to the agile method. So agile method typically supports very well the DevOps approach. So as you can see in the bottom diagram, let us say there is a requirement. There is a requirement for a software project, or there is a work to be done in a model. So the first step will be building. This is done by the development team. The second step will be testing. This is done by the development or testing team. And then the deployment, right? So deployment will also happen feature by feature or part by part with support of operations team. And that is how DevOps approach will work. Let us see with an example. So as you can see, DevOps in data science and CI/CD pipeline, we will try to understand with a simple example and relate with data science. Okay. Let's say there is a model in production. I am calling that model version 1. Okay. Let us say there is a model in the production. Now tomorrow there is one new feature that is getting captured by the business. For example, you can say customer phone number was not there in the model before. Now customer phone number is also getting captured. Or you can say customer social media data was not there. Now customer social media data is also getting included in the model. So one new feature or one new column gets added in the newer version of the model. So previously it was model version 1. Now one new feature gets added, model gets retrained, and then the model takes the new version, right? Model version 2. So as you can see here, the continuous integration is at the moment there is any change in the model, or at the moment there is any change in the existing features of any software, right? We need to make sure that the new change is integrated with the overall system. So what I mean by overall system is, model version 1 was working with some other parts of the program as well, right? For example, database connectivity, for example, writing the data to somewhere, for example, creating some runnable files, creating some, to keep it very simple, reading from a CSV and writing it to a table. These things model version 1 was doing. When I am making a change to model, then the new feature that I added should be tested. So integration and testing is a part of continuous integration. So every time we make a change in the model, or every time we add or delete a new feature from the existing software, it needs to be integrated with the overall system. This part is called continuous integration. What is continuous deployment? As you can see in the bottom here, once the continuous integration happens, then the new version or the new codes or the new changes needs to be continuously deployed to the production. Okay, and once we deploy the model version 2 to the production, then our existing model will be nothing but model version 2. This is a simple example of what is continuous integration and continuous deployment. Now if you look at this carefully, right, you can relate it with any data science example or normal day-to-day project, non-data science project as well, right? So every time something new is happening in a product, it needs to be integrated with the overall system and it needs to be deployed in the production. How this model will be beneficial and useful? So this model is testing all the changes instantly, if you see. So there is no separate dev team and ops team, it is a DevOps team, right? So everything that is being developed is being tested and deployed. So operations is also happening and development is also happening. The benefit of that is you will get a more reliable product in the end. The benefit of that is you will have a lead time to market your project. The benefit of that is you will not have any surprises in the end, that model is not running, something is not working, right? Those kind of things will not happen. And that is the advantage of using Agile with DevOps. These concepts are very important for you guys, because tomorrow when you work in a real-time project, right, you should have the knowledge of what is agility, what is DevOps, how this deployment is working, how the continuous integration is happening, what is a version control system, right? That is why I am giving you an idea of what are these things, right? Let us see what are some of the famous tools for DevOps. So Jenkins is one tool that is open source, very reliable and easy to use. Jenkins is too much in use, so many companies are using Jenkins for DevOps activities. Docker, if you have heard of, I also plan to create separate videos on Docker. So Docker works on the concept of something called as a container. What is a container? A container is something that can be taken from one server to other server. For example, if I write a Python code and I connect it to a database and I fetch data, my code is executing and writing a pickle object. If I want my entire setup to run on a new server, then what I can do is I can use a Docker, create a container, and that container can be kept on the new server. So it's very portable and very secure. I am just giving you a high level idea of what are these things. Another thing you should know is Git, if you are not aware. So Git is open source tool again for repo management. What is repo? So as we discussed, different versions of model version 1, version 2. So you need to maintain the versions in repository, right? That is repo. And team coordination. So there are 10 people working in the development. One person downloads a file, makes some changes and uploads the file in the server again. The next person takes that uploaded file, does the changes and uploads the file. This is called a team coordination and repository management. So Git is another tool for that. Apache Bamboo is another famous tool. So this is an efficient license tool by Apache. This is not free of cost, but very much in practice and very much people are using it. So these are some of the tools. There are many other tools that you might see in your organization, but this is the high level view of what is DevOps, what is the development plus operation, connectivity or conjunction, you can say, coordination, you can say, and how DevOps and Agile work, right? So this is the message I wanted to give you from this video. This diagram, this picture is important. You can keep that, you can take a picture and keep that in your phone if you want. This is very useful, right? So how different versions are controlled and what is CI and CD. If you have any doubts, write me in comment. I'll come up with another interesting video. Till then, stay safe and take care.